Welcome to the Broken Sun. Welcome back, folks. I am Matt, also known as ARP. I'm your friendly guide here. And here is Specters of a Broken Sun, which is the second season of our smash hit podcast, Splinters of a Broken Sun. You probably haven't heard about us being optioned for a Netflix original series yet. That's largely because that has not happened. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time. And the people who will be the beneficiaries and creative directors of that endeavor, should it ever come to pass, are joining me tonight. We have got with us Good Sir Blood.
Howdy, everyone. It's me, Mike Blood. You can find me on Twitter at Good Sir Blood, just like Matt said. My pronouns are they, them.
Who are you playing today? Or who are your characters that you bring to the table?
I bring to the table many characters, but the ones that I'm playing are Emran Pak, he, him, and of course, the Slippery Slip, they, them, who I will be playing this evening.
Wonderful. We're also joined by Velvet.
Hello, everyone. I'm Velvet, and I'm contractually obligated to state up front that I shouldn't be trusted with any measure of executive power. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar. I will, during the latter end of the season, be playing Augustus, they, them, who you'll render onto, and Maeve, she, her, the mother of monsters.
Excellent. And finally, we are joined by Keekers.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Keekers, also known as Be a Space Cat. I am she, her. And today I will either alternately be playing CD, they, them, or Keva Jarma, she, her. And people should not trust certain objects to me because I've already lost them.
What did you lose?
My scissors.
Oh, I thought it was going to be your doll.
No.
We sure the
You
doll
thought it
didn't
was
take
going to
them?
be my what?
I was about to say,
The doll took the scissors.
I did move it recently.
the doll is learning to cut.
It's like that SCP that uses materials around the house to make more of itself.
Keep your
No.
eyes open.
No, it's not there. Don't ever say that to me again.
Should I be trying to add it to the SCP Foundation wiki?
I don't know what's stopping you.
Nothing, except for reading enough style guides to get it well established.
I forgot to mention my pronouns are he and him. And good. I would like to start this evening. Oh, good. You found the scissors. I want to acknowledge that this podcast is produced on the unceded territory of the Katzie, Kwikwetlem, Stalo, Kwantlen, Ts'uminus, Musqueam people, and the treaty land of the Tsawwassen First Nation. You can support Indigenous land protectors right now by visiting unisto10.camp and learning about the ongoing fight against invasive and illegal pipelines and other projects that don't respect Indigenous land rights. Speaking of rights, let's talk a little bit about where we left off. We left off right at the moment where your plan was about to come together, I'm sure, because we were getting ready to do a little bit of an invasion of our own.
Mm-hmm. We couldn't find any wheat pennies to buy that radio station.
No,
I'm not going to stop making that obscure reference joke.
someone will get it at some point. It'll happen. We're all rooting for you.
Is it hay
Thank you.
pennies? Like from Animania?
Wheat pennies. No.
So, never mind.
Wheat pennies. No. Though, similar time frame.
Okay. I'm going to crack this code.
I'll give you a major hint. They have "Hey Lucy, You're So Fine" in it.
Did narrow it down. In fact, I'm less sure.
Okay. Now, you have learned from this briefing that you're in the midst of, that from MP and Mandukai, that you need to take control of the broadcast station, the central broadcast station located in the inner sphere of the sun here. And your task upon seizing it is to attempt to basically hack into the wave, which is the communication system used on the habitat, and attempt to open communications with the people down there in order to provide a particular warning. Do you remember what you might be warning them about?
I know. Pick
Yeah.
me.
Go ahead.
They're going to invade the habitat again with help from the asteroid-dwelling people who have been recruited by the warship The Spot.
That's right. The Hygean logistocracy is at the doorstep of the habitat and are prepared to break in with the help of the people of the sun, or at least the solar free state. The people of the sun probably just don't know anything about this, seeing as you all, half of your characters don't, and they're people of the sun. Whether or not people would be happy with this or not is an entirely different question. Now then, there has been a little bit of news that has come out recently as you are preparing for this attack, the siege that you're going to launch here. So some recent news. Allow me to pull it up to share with you. Okay, so that was complete on the 19th. I guess we'll start from the top. The Solar Free State, the last update that you have heard from MP and MP's contacts is that the Solar Free State has managed to get out of the sun and access the old spaceport on the hub station, and they are in the midst of working to open that spaceport and allow access to the hub, or not access to the hub itself, but access to the habitat. That's the most recent news from there. The Sodality of Preservation has released a statement saying that they have taken over running Phoenix Corporation. The Sodality of Preservation has noted that Phoenix Corporation was engaged in illegal experimentation, and so they have taken control of the company in the name of decency and the Solar Free State, and are now running those operations. What else was interesting here? Yeah, that was a while ago. Yes, along with that statement, there is an update to the news. CD, the bounty on you has increased.
Yay.
As the statement notes that Phoenix was working with the Body Bandit CD to procure illegally materials and thus deprive the people of the sun of their right and their access to those materials.
Oh, right, is it? That's exactly what CD says when they hear the news. They're like, oh, it's a right now. And then they move their head around.
There has been, let's see, a warrant issued. Not a warrant has just been issued. There has been an update on the bounties that has been put out. There are some mediocre renderings of the Sunbreakers now available for public consumption. Imagine, they clearly were trying to take the video from the cameras and turn it into usable information, but of course you were all wearing various disguises and acting in ways that would make it more difficult for your physical characteristics to be fully understood. So what do you think the wanted poster looks like for each one of you? In what ways is it right and in what ways is it wrong?
I think that for Emran. So what kind of renderings are these? Are these like torso shots, full body, facial?
It's like a bust shot, 3D.
I think that Emran is bald, and instead of it being a mask, it's like a cybernetic plate.
Okay.
So I think I'm like Chrome Dome.
I think you're a cyborg. All right. A cyborg with a sun on its face. I think in the rendering, the sun decoration is like a camera eye that roves around on the helmet.
Like a Gundam.
Yeah, or like a Zaku kind of thing, like wow. Armed and highly dangerous. I think, in fact, the rendering of you has it has 4 arms because they couldn't quite figure out how you'd be so good at fighting. So it's like they just assume you must have extra arms. This dangerous cyborg mutant from the habitat. All right, what does the Maeve rendering or the Keva rendering look like?
I think in keeping with the theme of just adding multiple limbs, I think they gave Maeve like literally a bunch of arms and maybe like the 4 eyes, but they're like beady little Martian eyes.
Right. Terrifying.
I don't know how. Oh, well, one thing popped into my head, but I decided against that.
She's just a sentient poncho.
Keva, you were wearing something of a disguise that you took from the section blue
Yeah.
cupboards, closets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, for some reason, the rendering, you can tell that it's a dress.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but it's definitely a dress, and her hair is for some reason more spiky, like anime-esque up, just because of the fact that she stabbed something with her hair. So for some reason they imagine that it's like this really spiky anime cloud strife style hair.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I should mention, I mean, Final Fantasy VII original, like, render how spiky that is.
Right.
Not
the coiffed locks
yeah.
of Remake Cloud or Advent Children Cloud.
No, these are...
Is Keva gonna fight Sephiroth?
No, but I imagine... Oh, and her hair is the wrong color. It's like we're gonna go with silver. It's silver. It's Sephiroth silver.
Sephiroth hair.
Yeah, well, it's Cloud's hairstyle, just Sephiroth's color, so apparently they're love child. But can I just add, Emran's sword has to be 7 feet long, please.
Of course.
Yeah, it looks like the Buster sword, but it ends in a sun.
Okay, so those are the posters that have gone out for public consumption. That's what they're expecting the Hub Kids to look like. So who knows? The power of propaganda. And in fact, the power of propaganda is what we are dealing with today, because the broadcasting station is controlled by Huateng Media, and they are a tier 2, a tier 2 faction within the corporate arm of the factions up here on the sun, and they control the broadcasting of propaganda. They help to develop it. Lots of artists and stuff work there, corporate artists, and spin doctors and so on and so forth. Lots of political clout, and they actually already don't like the crew of the Probable Cause to begin with. As you may recall, you got your upgrade to the Probable Cause's comm system by stealing it from them. So that was something we determined back in the day. So you're already at -1 with this group. So that could be in part why some of the renderings are less flattering than they might be. Like the one of CD, I think CD's chassis looks a lot more scuffed and like eroded and such than it actually is. They make it look, goofy instead of cool and all that. So
something that occurred to me the other day, because I have not consumed this media in a while, was how much does the Probable Cause look like the Technodrome from the 80s TMNT TV show?
Probably not too much, because the Technodrome is like covered in mechanical like doodads and greebles and so on. It's got arms sticking out of it and a giant eye on top. Whereas the Probable Cause it's just a chrome orb.
Yes, but one would say that size-wise it is similar.
I don't know. The Technodrome is really big.
Okay, so smaller. Okay.
Probable Cause is like maybe the size of a cottage.
Okay, so half a Technodrome.
That's so nice. I like that.
Yeah, cottage-sized. Wouldn't fit in your garage.
No.
It might be the size of a garage, depending on which neighborhood you're in. Shiny silver chrome. Okay, so we were planning ways to get in there, and as you may recall, they were saying, MP and Mandikai were saying that you might need to disrupt the sim or even crash the sim in order to help you seize control of this station physically. So it's a multi-pronged, multi-vector attack that you're going to need to engage in. So speaking of which, let's talk about engagement. You'll need to determine a plan. As you recall, we just pick a plan type. You can do some gather information stuff. If you wish, that may help improve your engagement roll, and it might help you learn more details. But then after you've done that, you need to pick one of the 6 types of plan. So how are each of you preparing for this? First of all, who's going? Because you can pick whichever of your characters you wish.
Schlep.
Okay.
I think I think I'm going to have to go with Keva because she is better at the tech things and she can also back them up. She's well balanced for this sort of thing.
She is indeed balanced.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Maeve. I feel like next to Emran, she's probably the scrappiest.
Okay, so we have a mixed squad here. And how are you planning to take this station long enough to get out a message? Or what do you want to do in order to plan this operation?
I've never seen a mystic assault in that powered by the darkness system.
Hmm.
It's like just attack the station with spam and sneak inside, I guess.
Open all the tabs.
Just crashed. Just so much bot spawning.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
Hmm.
So the detail is the arcane power that you would use for that. Let's see here. What do you think? So you're going to spam the broadcast station's systems or access point?
I was thinking, what if we implanted our own kind of like virus?
Okay. Maybe that could be like part of the payload. As you're spamming it, one of them is secretly a virus. The rest are just spam.
Yeah. I had a weird idea.
Yeah, this is the time for it.
Because it's a mystic assault, let's get weird. Slip did just find out that there's some very powerful, albeit splintered, artificial intelligence hiding somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It might be possible to run multiple iterations of my consciousness to help the spam attack.
I wonder. Is that something you want to test out beforehand, or are you just going to try and do it?
No, let's not have a tank scenario. Let's not ride the tank.
No? Okay. So, I guess this is sort of a gather information role in that you're testing out your own capabilities. What does this look like for Slip practicing this?
Slip is in I'm not sure what the word would be, but like a separated instantiation of the sim.
Yeah.
Where they can test out freaky stuff like this.
Sure. Like a local instance or a loading zone or something?
That would be it. Instance was the word I was thinking of.
Cool.
And then Slip is going to try and imagine themselves performing different tasks that need to be addressed in this sim instance. And so I think for this thought experiment, Slip is in an extremely cluttered and dirty house and needs to be done by a certain point in an arbitrary time period. And it's not possible that Slip could do it by themselves. And so Slip needs to multiply. And I guess imagine doing all these things at once, but that's actually taking place in the sim at least.
Okay.
Run multiple tasks.
It sounds kind of like you're doing a tuning here, right?
I would hope so.
Trying to get in touch with the weird aspect of it. Okay. So give yourself a fortune roll based on your attune rating of 3.
Word. A 6.
Nice.
Yeah, you got yourself a 6. Okay. So as you are imagining and trying to create this scenario in the instance of the sim, you look over from where you are like vacuuming out an old, computer case, vacuum out some dust bunnies from there, and you look over and you see a pile of dirty laundry, and you suddenly see yourself starting to sort that laundry, by color and delicates and so on and so forth. And you look over again at the dirty dishes in the sink, and you are there also washing the dirty dishes. And you look over again, and there you are once again with a feather duster, getting those cobwebs out of the corners. And you just keep looking, and everywhere you look, there is a copy of yourself doing one of these tasks that you have designed it to do. This runs for like a couple of minutes. As it goes, you start to notice that the other copies of yourself are just doing the task you were thinking about at the moment they were created, in the way you were thinking about it at the moment they were created. So you don't really have fine control over them once duplicates have been created. So they just keep doing the same thing. And eventually you start to see them glitch out and stutter and stuff. And then eventually they fade, and whatever they were doing, like your first hint is you are looking at a version of yourself scraping old wallpaper off of a wall, and you hear a dish crash, and you look around and you see that version of yourself that was washing the dishes is gone. You look around, the version of yourself with the feather duster is gone, and so on. But the tasks remain complete. When you log out of this instance of the sim, you find yourself pretty thoroughly exhausted.
Sure.
Real bad headache from this one, but it worked.
Oh, I haven't had a headache in ever.
I was wondering if another thing that might help is if Keva became more, I guess, almost set up an avatar or some sort of thing in the sim.
I don't think this will work, but I think it's possible you could create like a dummy avatar in the sim, like sort of similar maybe by working with Slip. You could create a version of yourself in the sim that will just go through a preset list of commands.
Okay. So, yeah, or this version would look like the wanted poster
Okay.
version.
That's good.
To act as another distraction.
Okay.
So we could put this dummy somewhere farther away to get these news people attracted to it.
Okay. You could perhaps send one of your cohorts to do that, or one of your unused characters could go and plant this dummy somewhere. Maybe you're making.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a hack roll for this to see how well this dummy comes together.
Is this an instance where I can burn a stress to help?
Okay.
If you want to start burning stress already, I am not going to stop you.
I'm already haunted. You know what? You raise a good point, Matt.
So is this controlled?
Yeah, it's controlled standard.
That
Okay.
is a 4.
Okay.
That's actually a minor crit, Matt.
Oh, sure. 2 4s. Not every double is a crit. Okay, so you are able to create a dummy avatar of what Keva looks like in the wanted poster. And I think you're able to create one more dummy avatar with that role. So do you make the Maeve one or do you make an Emran one?
Okay, it's Emran.
Okay. So you have these two, and they're basically like non-player characters in an MMO.
Okay.
Like they can follow around and they'll follow a set script. But like if anything off what the expected script happens, they're going to fall apart. It will become very clear that there's nobody actually piloting them. So you're basically setting like 2 Roombas with amiibos on top of them free in an area, and they look like in the sim, the Keva and Emran that are in the wanted posters. You've got like that. There are many guards in the castle. Welcome to Corneria, kind of thing.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Corneria. Hi. Welcome to Corneria. I like swords. Welcome to Cornelia. I like swords.
How dare you? I'm a lot more flat a character than that.
Is Maeve doing anything?
What?
Get ready for that.
I'm trying to think of what she can do.
She's good at learning stuff.
Get some edumacation going on.
You could read schematics. You could study something or other.
Yeah, maybe try to look up, see if I can find the schematics for the building we are invading.
Okay. So, let's see. I'm actually going to have MP help you with this. I'm just going to do a fortune roll because MP can do a bit of hacking.
Hacks.
Okay. So MP is able to get you access to incomplete schematics, but more than the ones that are publicly available. So there's more information on these than the public gets, but not full schematics. There's some corruption in these files. They're a little older, but you can use your study on them to see what you can see and see if you can find some weak points or something along those lines. It says, sorry, their cybersecurity is tighter than I thought it might be, but hopefully we can make something of this. Better than going in blind, right?
Every bit helps.
You can just do a fortune roll based on your study rating.
E.
Okay, limited information. Because the schematics are old and degraded and they've got some corruption in them, there isn't a whole lot that you can find out from them. But you are able to learn a couple of things that might seem obvious. First of all, going through the front door is obviously a bad idea, but not just because you'd be announcing your presence really obviously, also because they have a security system that will basically Okay, so it is assumed that by accessing this building, you are agreeing to their terms of service, basically. And their terms of service include they will copy your memory banks so that they can, in the future, better serve you personalized ads. So that's one of the things. If you go in through the front door, they have that device that will copy your memory banks. And, there aren't any notices up about it anywhere, but, they've covered their butts because it's buried deep on their webpage somewhere in their terms of service for using the webpage, that if you access their building, either in the sim or in real life, they get access to your memories. You are also able to find out that they do also have more of those devices somewhere else in the building. It's not exactly clear where, but you'll be aware that you'll need to keep your eye out for that. How that would work on those of you who are flesh and blood, it's not clear, but it can't be pleasant.
And we don't get any other actions.
Probably not particularly, because time is of the essence. And each one of these things takes time. Who are we sending with the decoy Roombas?
Ooh, it would have to be someone on the A team, or could we use someone on the B team?
You can use anyone who's not going on the actual assault mission.
Okay.
Or mystic mission.
Well, I want to say that it would either be CD, and I don't want to volunteer Augustus, but Augustus would be the other obvious choice. But if Augustus would want to do it, CD would be up for doing it.
Sure, I think CD can definitely go, and maybe a T.E.R.R.Y proxy will come with you.
Oh, sounds good.
Because you do have that cohort, so we can have that be something that's going on to assist with your engagement role, and we might flash over to that at some point if anything happens to happen.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
I can do that.
What is Augustus doing?
Robbing us?
I think, no. Maybe. I think they would be trying to safeguard their office or just various properties now that they know this big wave surge is coming.
Okay, yeah.
You're evil.
Self-centered.
You're pure evil.
Okay. So Augustus is busy covering their ass. Good. Does Augustus warn anyone else? Like any of their business associates or friends in high places?
Come into this basement and see my cask of new Amontillado.
I mean,
Montiliago, yes.
Maybe a few. Gratitude's a good starting point.
All right. So let's get the engagement roll ready. Okay. So you're doing a mystic plan, and your arcane power is you're going to spam it, and a slip is going to slip in amidst the spam. Is that the idea?
Sounds about right. It's a plan of the spoopy variety. Will we meet orangutans in season 3?
Yeah, definitely.
What is happening with season 3? I'm so upset. I don't know what it means. There's Nekus piloting mechs. There's orangutans and centaurans, gaseous creatures informing us of the doom of the world. What is happening?
You'll find out.
I might play an Irish person.
Just there's robot people, space aliens, and psychics. I'm just a regular Irish dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Item loadouts.
Normal.
Normal for slip? Okay.
Let me look again.
Light, normal, and heavy, basically.
Yeah, I'll go normal.
Okay. How about Maeve?
I mean, if I'm the tank for this, I feel like I gotta go heavy.
Then do it. Okay. Once the players choose a plan and provide its detail, I cut to the action. Describing the scene as the crew engages their first obstacle. Well, we'll find your first obstacle is once we've got the engagement roll here. So you start off with 1 die for sheer luck. We modify for these major advantages or disadvantages. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? What do you think?
Yeah, affirmative, it is.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes to any of the positive questions, Matt.
Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? Well, what are the factors? We've got the spam. We've got Slip being able to control the duplicates. We've got the Roombas with the amiibos. And that's about it. I don't think it's particularly complex.
Hype.
Does this plan's detail expose a vulnerability or hit them where they're weakest? It does not. Are they strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? They have special preparations and defenses, but you know about some of them, so I'm not going to remove a die for that. So we're still at 2. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Yes, you've got the decoy thing going, so that's +1. That's 3. Are any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation? I'm sorry, you're back down to 2.
Oh.
They gasp.
Are there any other elements that you want to consider? They are 2 tiers higher than you.
I have a guess as to who it might be.
We start with a reservoir of style points, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure that shoots up to like 10 die for us.
Okay, so we're at 2.
Yeah.
We have 10. We have 10 dice.
Do any of you want to roll, or do you want me to do it?
Go ahead, dice man. Do your dice.
All right.
Yeah, you don't get to roll dice as much as us.
You got a 6.
Oh, thank goodness we asked you.
Okay. So that means you are in a controlled position as we cut to the action. We find the 3 of you are slinking around outside of the headquarters of Huateng Media Group. You have not been spotted. You've made your way past the patrols from Theta Com on the outer barrier, and you've made your way to the inner defenses. You are at the access point where you need to inject your malware into their system.
So I have 2 in hack. How many does Slip have?
Juan.
Okay, so Keva will lead.
Group action, Matt.
Your call if you want to do it.
Sure, why not?
Let's go full hack.
So what does this look like that you're hacking at the access point as a group?
I imagine that Keva somehow gets to this access data point. I think it's almost like a keypad. She's crouched down, and her hair comes out and flicks into it. And I don't know how Slip tunes into something. Like,
Stab me. Stab me with your hair again. I have an idea.
okay, as long as you ask. So Keva, so another little part branches out and connects to Slip.
Okay.
Like a very, very mean USB.
Slip lets out a dial-up sound.
Oh, marvelous. Is Maeve participating in this, or should it just be an action where one of you is assisting the other?
I mean, I have hacking tools, so I guess maybe I just beep near them and hope to boost the signal.
Is Maeve hovering over their shoulders, being like, no, I think it should be over there. And then
Maeve has psychic powers, so she could like try to lend them to Keva. Like,
yeah, sure.
Like puts her arm in the air, like it's the spirit bomb from DBZ.
Do like the little Captain Jack Sparrow hand motions.
The force wave.
Ooh.
Okay. In that case, Keva, you said you were leading the action?
Yes.
Okay.
Is controlled standard?
Is controlled standard.
And I don't add any bonus die.
I lied. I had 0.
So that's 1 failure.
But we got a 6.
And 2 successes, and the highest success is a 6.
Okay.
So that is good. Rolling well here at the start of the mission.
Do I add a stress for the failure?
Yes, you do.
I believe I did.
You're welcome.
So what does it look like? I think obviously it's the plugging in to Slip causes some unfortunate feedback as you make those dial-up sounds. You are hit with another memory slip of your other self. And this one is pretty innocuous because it's just a brief, momentary thing. All you see is he's just making breakfast one morning. Just making breakfast. The breakfast he's making is steak and eggs. The eggs, as you look at them, you watch as they cook and cook and cook and cook. And the steak just keeps frying and sizzling and frying until it's this.
He likes it well done.
It's just this gray, leathery strip of meat and a rubbery egg. And as he puts the first bite into his mouth, you are pulled out of the memory, unfortunately spared of the taste of boot leather.
Okay, so did he put salt and pepper on the egg or soy sauce?
No seasoning.
No, just the egg.
Do rubber chickens come from rubbery eggs?
Ooh.
I assume so.
You have to fill it with hate.
Without doing any research, yes.
Yes.
Don't fact check me on this. Okay. So you are connected. You begin to flood Huateng Media Group's servers with this malware, and slip an instance of yourself or some instances of yourself, hitch a ride on these pop-up windows, I assume, is what we're aesthetically going for here.
Heck yeah.
And it's like little remoras clinging to the bottom of these pop-up ads as they slice through the defenses of the Huateng Media Group's servers. There's just too many of them for them to stop. And the visual metaphor, you see the shield wall goes up. They've got these shields with the Huateng Media Group logo on them, and their spears tip pointed, and several of the pop-up ads smash and shatter against these. But enough of them get through that it begins to open gaps in the defenses, and the system just becomes flooded to capacity. And so their surveillance isn't going to be able to see you, basically. Where do you go from here?
Just the overwhelming amount of hot singles in the area.
They want to talk to you.
Me?
You know it.
I imagine that the picture of the hot single is like, for some reason, Matt Damon.
Apocryphal human hero, Matt Damon from Legend.
Wonderful.
Well, I was kind of imagining that it was Damon, but
Oh,
Understood.
That one.
That Matt Damon.
Hey, I'm a hot single.
hey, what's going on?
Hey,
You looking good?
you up?
What you doing, big head?
that's
ASL.
the voice for the ad.
Hey, I love it. That would also drive me to near insanity. Yeah.
I think that CD somehow like gets a copy of it and saves it on like a little file, and it's like, yes.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Okay. So, you've made your way past the defenses. Their systems are flooded. The alarms haven't started yet because right now they're not sure exactly what's happening. You've got minutes before things get hairy, but you're still in a controlled position.
Okay,
How are you going to get in there?
I guess we're just gonna break in rather violently now.
Do we have any other ideas? I know that May and V saw some pictures of the place.
Can I consult my handy dandy charts?
You can.
For a more expeditious route.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm going to start a clock for basically breach the premises. It's going to be a 4-step clock.
I suppose this would be a study.
Okay.
A study in clockwork, but instead it's architecture.
Yeah, it'll be controlled, and I think the effect's going to be limited because, as we've already seen, these blueprints aren't great, but they're there.
I'm sorry, the effect is great.
The greatest.
Limited.
103 again.
Yeah, that is a 3. That's 2 3s, in fact. We're seeing a lot of doubles today.
You gotta let him crit, Matt.
Unfortunately, not in this case.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a crit today.
I think you are studying the blueprints here. You're looking at them. And as you are taking the time to do this, the alarm starts to go off. So there are alarms now going. It's a different klaxon from the one you heard in Section Blue. Like that one was really annoying, loud, and like traditional emergency klaxon. This one it's the sound of somebody running a pestle around a porcelain bowl. Like you've heard that sound before that they use to like help meditate.
Oh.
It's that, but it's very loud, and you hear a voice saying like, "Attention, workers. There has been a breach in our digital security." This is very calm voice reading, clearly a prepared script. Please prepare your defenses accordingly.
So
Okay, go. I made a mistake. We need to go inside.
So it's not as ear splitting as the other one. So Keva puts in her earplugs that she got. She nods, and then I think it's time for us to do hack and slash into the building.
If that's what you want, tell me how that works. The building rises up in front of you. In the sim, I don't know. Well, you can't really see what's going on in the sim right now because it's flooded in the local area. But normally it would be this tall, beautiful building that has a giant eye on top of it. It'd be like Sauron, but make it fashion.
Okay.
Simon.
It's smooth curves. It's like light blue and white with some glowing, soft glowing and all that stuff like that. It looks very nice. The tower looks like an H, and the eye is like in between the top two arms of the H that are reaching up to hold it. It's like an H that's slightly curved at the top, and the two arms at the top of the H are holding this giant eyeball with a glowing iris. And the eyeball at this point in the sim is starting to look around. In the real world, it's just a square building. It's just a cube.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely one of the best shapes for buildings. But we know at least where there's an entryway or a window or something, right?
You know where the main entrance is. You know that there are other entrances. The blueprints, they were limited. What you learned from those was why you shouldn't go in the front door.
Okay, so we're gonna run along. Well, is Keva leading this action?
I don't know. Is she?
Not yet, but Keva kind of like points, like, let's run around the side of it, the physical building.
I mean, okay.
Until we find a way in.
I should mention on top of the cube there are like lots of broadcast antennae, satellites, all that stuff. Radio tower.
Can I do a morph sort of thing with my hair?
You may need to be more specific.
Okay, I want to make a big shape around us to shelter us.
Okay, like a big sphere thing?
I'm trying to figure out if I wanted it to be what exact shape I wanted it to be. Part of me was, one thought that popped into my head was a unicorn, and then the other one was tank.
I appreciate this thought process. I think that is maybe more complex than Keva can manage right now.
Okay.
With her hair. Like maybe a sphere or a cube. Yeah, for sure. Like you did with the wrecking ball thing.
Okay.
A unicorn might require some more months of practice.
So it's a sphere.
Don't misunderstand, Matt. We love it, just not yet.
No, I love this idea, and it's something I want to see Keva do. I just don't think she can do it yet.
Okay. It's a hair sphere. It looks kind of like a gigantic bun.
Yep, as spheres do.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to picture what a hair sphere is, it's a bun.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind.
It's like a hair bun is what we're talking about, not the kind of bun you would eat.
Yeah. No, a hair bun.
Just so that we're clear for everyone in the audience as well.
We take on Mighty Morphin power of pork roll.
Delicious.
Go Power Rangers.
Yeah, I don't think this kind of almost blunt force application of your powers requires any roll at this point. There's nobody shooting at it or anything.
Well, it's basically just sort of as a shield, but also obscuring shield to obscure view and from others as we start tracing the perimeter of the building to find a good way in.
Okay. So that gives you some good fictional covering and protection there. How are the three of you going about finding a good way in?
Well, I would say that might be a study thing, which I don't have.
I think Keva is also busy weaving this giant metal hair bun, so it might be up to the other two to look for the relevant entrances.
I can lead the study charge.
Yeah, I'll help out. I'll burn a stress for you, my friend.
Well, thanks.
Okay, so you're oh, right. The alarm going off, I should have mentioned, that was your fictional positioning changing from controlled to risky.
Right.
We thrive in risky standard.
That is where I live.
You're in a risky position here. I think, how many eyes are you using for this, Maeve? And what kind?
I'm going to use my special eyes.
Like slug eyes.
Some nice compound eyes?
Oh, that's better.
Okay. With compound eyes, I think you've got great effect on this.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, specific. Yeah, because I know this was built for functionality, but I'm imagining they never expected to have someone who could slice through with their hair, or somebody who could grow a big chitin horn and smash through it. So I'm trying to find the least likely spot where they expected somebody to break through.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. So you're taking the extra die for the assist you're getting from Slip?
Yes.
Okay. You got a 4 there. So
we're back to being haunted.
4 will get you 2 ticks there. Okay. So you are able to not slice in, you're using your eyes, and you're able to, with them, find a point that the unique vision your eyes give you shows is not going to lead into a bearing structure or anything, something that will get you into like an open area inside the building. So you're able to find that point on the wall.
I was wondering, are there windows, or is this windows are structural weakness? The Wu people do not use them?
Yeah, there are no windows here.
Wuhan.
Just a cube.
Huateng.
They are Geth.
Okay. So, because this was a 4, there is a consequence. And for that consequence, I'm actually going to jump over to the B team here. CD and Terry, one of Terry's proxy bodies. Where have you taken the Roombas?
Just nowhere near where you're supposed to be.
Hey, Terry, we should bring these to Twinkle Park.
Twinkle Park? What a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I got totally beaten up there one time.
Oh, is that where you went? Well, let's make our way back there, and perhaps this time we'll have a more triumphant effort. So you arrive at Twinkle Park, and Terry's body unfolds again. Terry's proxy bodies, I don't know if I've mentioned this, Terry's proxy bodies can transform into a motorcycle.
What?
Yeah, and then back into a humanoid form. So Terry's proxy motorcycle body carries you to Twinkle Park.
Like the Transformers character RC, or like the weird summons from Final Fantasy 13, the Shiva sisters?
I will show you what I have in mind here. It's from an old anime called Genesis Climber Mospida. I don't know if you're aware of that one, but it's they're transforming power armor that transforms from motorcycle to power armor.
Oh, that's cool. I would like that picture.
Let me just grab it for you.
I like pictures a lot.
So I'll dump these in the hub chat. These are basically how I imagine Terry's proxy bodies.
Ooh.
So I got, but Terry's proxy bodies are all chrome, like the Probable Cause. Yeah. So it's just that, but all chrome. And rather than having a person on it in motorcycle mode, it's just a motorcycle with like a extra dome on top. And then in person mode, the 2 wheels go up into the shoulders. So you're at Twinkle Park. You've gotten a ride over on one of Terry's proxy bodies here. And here's our consequence. As you're getting ready to release the Roombas, you see, now we're not going to do... That's okay. Iceman. I thought that was Turbo Teen for a second.
I was looking for Turbo Teen. I couldn't get Turbo Teen.
It's not Turbo Teen.
I was very upset, so I settled on Iceman.
My nephew loves Iceman. I don't love Iceman, though.
The Iceman cometh.
I liked Firestar better.
Yeah, Firestar.
So you put the Roombas down, and they begin broadcasting the dummies into the sim, and you hear a thump behind you as of something landing on the ground.
CD looks around to see if someone did that superhero jump into the ground with their fist.
It's not that kind of landing. This person has landed with their large feet on the ground, their legs bent, and both of their hands in front of them. And they look up at you, and you see his throat expand and then go back to normal size. And he says,
no.
Oh, no.
I had a feeling you'd show up back here. It's Frog, the bounty hunter.